As we speak, most headlines focus on West Asia, on the war in West Asia, but that's not the only war going on in the world right now. Among others is Ukraine. It's day 600 of the war in Ukraine. Their president fears oblivion. Reports say Zelensky is trying to go to Israel. He hasn't managed to get a date yet, but his adversary has. That's Vladimir Putin. He's traveling not to Israel, though, but to China. And this is significant. Putin has barely stepped out of Russia since he invaded Ukraine. So this is a rare international visit for him, and it's for a special occasion. This week, China is holding the BRI Forum, the Belt and Road Initiative Forum. It was supposed to be a grand affair, but the war in West Asia seems to have dimmed its sheen. As the leaders meet, the focus will be on Israel and Hamas, and the big question will be this: where do Russia and China stand on the war? Let's start with Moscow. They should not be complaining. The war in West Asia means distraction. The world has something else to talk about. The headlines no longer care about Ukraine, and that's a plus for Vladimir Putin. Also, the West is now busy elsewhere. They're rallying behind Israel. They're sending arms and pledging support. Of course, Russia hopes that this would mean less support for Ukraine, but the US says that won't happen. America says it can support both Israel and Ukraine. It's a good promise to make, but it will be harder to keep, because if this war drags on, it will test America's capacity as an ally. And Moscow is counting on that. Plus, it is slamming Washington's role in West Asia.
It is obvious that this US policy in the Middle East is a failure. Why do I think that? Because like I said now at the session, the United States has practically moved away from the previous international instruments for resolving this issue, which included several countries. One of them was Russia.
So distraction from Ukraine and a blow to the West. But that's not all that Russia cares about. It is also trying to play the role of mediator. Putin was asked about this. Listen to what he said.
We have very stable business relations with Israel. We have had friendly relations with Palestine for decades. Our friends know about this. And Russia, in my opinion, could also make its contribution to the peace process.
You heard that. Today, Russia spoke to 5 major stakeholders in the conflict. This includes Iran and other Arab nations. So Moscow is looking to play peacemaker, but it's not the only one. Its close friend China is eyeing the same role. When the Hamas attack first happened, Beijing condemned it, but it did not mention Hamas. China then talked about the two-state solution. It talked about peace in West Asia and how it can only be achieved with the creation of a Palestinian state.
The root cause of the Palestinian issue lies in the fact that Palestine's long-cherished wish to establish an independent state has not been realized. The way out lies in the founding of an independent Palestinian state, that is, implementing the two-state solution and realizing the peaceful coexistence of Palestine and Israel.
On October 15, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi spoke to his Saudi counterpart, and he said that Israel is acting beyond self-defense. Wang Yi also said that Beijing was ready to work with Riyadh to support Palestine. China's special envoy will also visit the region this week.
I will visit relevant countries next week in the Middle East to further strengthen coordination with all parties concerned, with a goal to cease fighting, protect civilians, ease the situation, and push forward peace talks.
China wants to broker peace, and it does have some experience, especially in West Asia. This year, China brokered a peace deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia. And this is the Israel-Palestine conflict. It has too much history. It has too many stakeholders. It may not be that easy. That said, neither Russia nor China will benefit from a wider conflict in West Asia. They don't want a full-blown war, especially one where they will have to take sides. So this war at the moment has provided a new opportunity for both Russia and China, for Russia to make the most of a distracted West and for China to ride the public sentiment, to capitalize the wave of solidarity for Palestine and to play a bigger role in West Asia. But if the conflict escalates, if the US enters it militarily, Russia and China will be forced to pick a side. I'm not sure that's what they want at the moment.